What is up, you far out interdimensional beings? Today we are going over Monero and we're going to see what we can find out about this privacy coin that is certainly the leader of the industry. So I have put together a little presentation and then I'm going to go through and look at the charts and their website and whatnot. So we are looking at Monero, and we're going to look at the charts and their website and socials in a minute. But first, let's see their overview. You can check out them at getmonero.org. You can also check the link in the description. There will be a link to this slide, so you can just go and click all of the links that are available in this video. So some of their chart stats: their market cap is $7.4 billion. Their circulating supply is 17.8 million. Their total supply is 17.8 million. The past 3 months, they've pretty much 3x themselves and obtained almost all-time highs, stuff that they weren't seeing since 2018. So they are doing pretty well these past 3 months, and we're going to take a look at their chart here in a second. The best exchange that you could find them on is Binance. They are definitely going to be, they're the best exchange anyway. So my coin prediction is that by the end of 2021, they will 2x themselves. The reason is that they're approaching their all-time high. I'm cautious as to where they will go by the end of the year. They might take off and be worth thousands, but I predict a $800 Monero by the end of 2021. I definitely think that they are a fast-growing crypto. Some things make me a little bit worried about the future of them, but at the same time, it's definitely something that can't be stopped, thus also making me think that it is a great coin. But to be on the safe side of things, because of all the things that they can possibly run into by the end of the year, I want to give them a safe 2x, putting them at around $800 by the end of 2021. Some pros and cons is the financial privacy is the main thing that Monero offers, and that you're responsible for your own funds. You can be your own bank. It's selectively transparent as well, so what that means is that it is completely anonymous, but you can choose to make it transparent to who you want to make it transparent to. And then with that, it's also dynamically scalable, and they have a steady mining rate, which is good for miners if you're using a lot of computing power. There are some pros and cons to that as well. I did put over in the cons section that the proof of work was a con, and that's just because mining isn't profitable for everyone who mines Monero. So the sixth pro is that it's untraceable, and the seventh is that it's open source and decentralized. So it makes it pretty hard to stop when it has all of those 7 advantages to the rest of the crypto market. But it also makes it come under some heat. That being said, it risks being banned by the government. And the second con is that you're responsible for your funds and proof of work. So that means they use miners and computing power to complete the transactions. Even though the transaction speed is very, very high, and Monero is scalable so that the network doesn't get gunked up kind of like it can in Bitcoin. The main thing is that you're responsible for your funds, which takes privacy back into your own hands, but it also leaves you vulnerable to any sort of mistakes that you make transacting the currency being on your own hands. You could possibly lose that money. So it all just depends. Some extras that I found are the Monero video, which I will show you on their website, and their wallets that are there as well. They have the wallets that you can download and use outside of exchanges. So once you buy it off Binance, you could transfer it to one of these wallets, and most hardware wallets allow you to store it as well. I also have a link to Coin Bureau's coin review because he is just much more articulate than I am, and he goes through some very, very in-depth things that I think are, very important to the success of Monero. The things that he covers, it's very important that you know those things. So check him out. Also, the chart in the top right, those are just my lines. They're not straight lines by any means, but you could see that they are approaching their all-time high. And from there, I don't know, just looking at that chart, it scares the shit out of me. But I definitely think that it could be a breakout point to where they, do see an $800 Monero if things go according to plan, as long as governments don't come down so hard on them. But a few cool things I found as well. The link right here is how to mine Monero, and it's an article. You could pick it up and look through it and see if it's for you. There's plenty of ways to get started mining Monero in that article, so you can check that out in your spare time. Another thing I found was on their Twitter, Thorchain, a cross-chain decentralized liquidity network, is partnering with Monero. That's coming soon. They announced that on the 23rd of April on their Twitter. So I definitely think that there's some great opportunities coming out of that partnership for sure. And then I also found on the Reddit, the title was "Why I Run a Monero Miner That Makes 10 Cents a Day." And it reads, "I've been asked by several people why I would mine less than 10 cents a day with an old and outdated machine. Well, the answer is that I run an old server anyway in order to connect the various devices on my ranch, so it doesn't represent a large increase in my monthly costs. Simply put, I don't mine Monero for profit. I mine Monero because I believe in Monero. If you want to make money using Monero, that's easy. Just invest some in Monero and hold it to the moon over the next few years. That's way simpler than investing in all the kits required to seriously mine. But if you believe in the concept, then I encourage you to set up a miner and leave it running while you sleep. It's a symbolic act. It's a revolutionary act. It's a proactive thing that you can do today to undermine the central banker's control over our society. Just creating new money out of nothing used to be crooked. But if it was found out that a ruler was debasing his currency, he would have had great damage done to his reputation. We shouldn't stand for this theft any longer. Debasing our currency is theft. Plain and simple. Mine Monero, not for money, but for principles. Mine Monero to save the world." So I read that whole thing because it is a almost revolutionary speech. So he, said it's a revolutionary act, and you should mine Monero to save the world. Whether or not you agree with that statement, it is a very, very bold statement, and it is something that a lot of the people in the Monero community agree with, that, they have that same emotional connection to Monero. So I think when that emotional connection is there, it really drives up the value of the currency. I think when people really know what's behind Monero and how great being your own bank can be, then I think that a lot of people are going to jump on board and share those same emotions as the people on this Reddit. So I definitely think that Monero has a long way to go in terms of widespread adoption and run-ins with the world governments. But I definitely think they are going places and they're going to make it through it. I just don't know how rocky it's going to be. So, to summarize, Monero is the leader of all privacy coins. They were one of the first cryptos out there, and they have continued to grow over the years because of their open source community. This coin is valuable because it allows you to be your own bank, whether or not you have the permission to be. And what makes it unique? The open source community, the scalability, and the ability to be untraceable and selectively transparent at the same time. So that is Monero in a nutshell. I definitely encourage you to dig deeper. Look up the Coin Bureau video. He really goes into some stuff. I don't know how he acquired that information, but it's great information to know. Go through their website and take a look at what they got. Until the next coin review, take it easy. Peace.